I minister forget the faith channel. So we're growing. We're planning on opening up. I'm working with Joseph. We're kind of in talks about opening up a wisdom and wealth channel, where we start to put information out there about that. I'm also a crackhead.
Yes.
Yeah. An addict is always an addict. I'm an addict in recovery. I've got today. That's it. That's how we look at it. But I've got 13 years of todays. So I have had the experience of going from the pit to the pulpit. That's what I like to talk about. The pit to the pulpit. So when I talk about obstacles, I have a few of them. See, so as Joseph said, I have a $1.4 million net worth. I don't say that to impress you. I say that to see what God has done in my life. That's the reason I said it. Say that, if he can do this for me, he can do it for you. George knows. George had to sit back here. I don't wear my money. I don't drive my money. But God has blessed me to be able to develop that. We didn't find out about this until, like Joseph, I told him, we have an autistic son in common. And we were putting together a thing called a special needs trust. And when you do that, they take all your assets and stuff. 'Cause my stuff was all over the place, George. I was not organized in that fashion at all. But this lawyer and this accountant got together, and when we sat down across the table, he said, "You're worth $1.43 million. Who are we talking to? But this is what God can do for us. So what I'm talking about tonight, y'all, is not an academic exercise. This is not something I read in a book. This is not something somebody told me, I heard about. This is something that I have actually lived. These principles that I'm going to explain tonight are not something they're something that got me where I'm at, and I still practice them today. Because they still work. They are still valuable. Because guess what? You're going to find obstacles in your life. I don't care who you are. Especially if you're going to be an entrepreneur. That right, George? You're going to find, man, it's going to be some times when you say, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But guess what? You can make it. And here, I'm going to give you some stuff tonight. Welcome to our presentation on overcoming life's obstacles, okay? Life is full of obstacles, challenges, but the right mindset and strategies, we can overcome anything. Mindset and strategies, remember that, okay? Now, understanding obstacles. This is the first thing I think we got to realize is that, in the addict world, in the addiction world, recovery world, they say that you can't, you have to identify the problem first. You have to admit there's a problem first. So we got to admit the fact that, guess what? We all have obstacles in our lives. There are things that we're going to experience that we ain't going to know how to deal with. They're going to drive us crazy. I was telling Joshua this morning, I had a payment go for my car, and it got lost somewhere, George. I lost my car payment, $500. Like, I said, if I'm not going to be 30 days late on any of that stuff, so it probably won't tag me, but I'm calling, why are you doing it? And he just hit me, he said, you know what, dude? Shit. You got your bank statement, you fax it to him, you let it go. That's all you can do. The money is obviously being taken out of your bank account because it's right there. So just chill. Sometimes you got to pick your battles. All right? So, obstacles are hurdles, difficulties, or challenges that impede progress. And as I said, we all run into these. The other thing is there are examples. There could be personal setbacks, there could be financial struggles, like I just said to you, health issues, relationship conflicts. A few years ago, a bit more than a few years ago, I got hit with diabetes. I got hit with high blood pressure. September 19th last year, I had a heart attack. Stuff always happens. So, but what you do is you just say, you know what? I just keep on moving. I just keep on moving. I can't be still. Mindset shift. This is so important, y'all. I remember in early recovery that negative thinking, how you talk to yourself. The scripture tells us, as a man thinketh, so is he. It's true. Everything that happens to us begins between our ears. Everything that we do begins between our ears. So if I'm telling myself, I say, Joseph, you can't make it. You can't do it. You can't do it. I can't do it. Excuse me. I can't do it. Guess what? I can't. I've already made that decision. I will manifest that in my mind, and it will come out in reality. So we have to adopt a growth mindset. That's positive self-talk. That's what it's basically talking. Positive self-talk. Where I'm going to tell myself, yes, I can. Joseph asked me something. I hope you don't mind me sharing this. He asked me what I consider the most important pearl in that I've learned. Don't tell nobody your dream. Don't share your dream with people who will kill it. Because they will steal your dream. And I've got to just be real. Louisville, Kentucky, man, we as black folk are killing ourselves because we don't want other black folk to succeed. That's just a fact. You can run that one up the flagpole all you want, you're going to find it. They're either going to steal your dream, they're going to try and delay your dream, or they're going to kill your dream. Hold on to what you're doing and don't let go of it. Don't let anybody steal or kill your dream. All right? Now, embrace failure as a stepping stone to success. I don't know, but I've learned more from my failures than I've learned from my successes. I just have. Because a success, okay, that worked, that's wonderful. But a failure, you gotta reevaluate. You gotta, look at what you did. You gotta develop a new plan from that success. Success, yeah, you go on. But failure makes you grow. It makes you grow. Another thing, is a quote from Michael Jordan. He said, obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. So often we can hit that little resistance, I give up. Without any real fight. That's where we need this word. Resilience. Resilience, okay? Look, resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. That's all it is, y'all. Bouncing back from adversity. Because you're going to have it. Here's some strategies to build resilience. Cultivating an optimism. That's a positive outlook on life. Again, that goes back to that positive thinking, that positive self-talk. Because we can talk ourselves into and out of just about anything. But if you stay positive, you have a better opportunity. Practice self-care. Self-care involves your physical, like the sister here was saying, I love her holistic approach to health. It's physical, mental, and spiritual. That's self-care. You got to do things to take care of all those things. What I do, I like to read, meditate. I will go for a walk. I have the gym in the basement 3 times. I'm gonna laugh. 2 times a week. I'm exercising. But you have to do stuff to take care of you. That's very important. Because a lot of us don't do that. We don't spend time self-care, developing problem-solving skills. This is something that we need to do. I don't care what you do. When you got a job, you got a business, whatever, you need to have problem-solving skills. And the way you can find these is, there's this thing, and I'm gonna give y'all this. This is a little jewel here. There's this thing on the internet called Udemy. UDEMY.com. They have courses on everything. If you want to learn something, UDEMY.com. And they have sales all the time. You can get, I don't care what you want, any subject. You can get a master class on. And that's my thing, is always learning. Always learning. I'm always learning. Right now, I'm training for Christian life coach. I'm also training to be an AI, certified AI technician. Caveat, if you ain't using AI, you're gonna die. In your business, you're gonna die. I'm telling you. AI, today, I was so productive today, I was scared myself, Joseph. I mean, I got so much done in 2 hours. It's amazing with this AI. Do this for me, done. Create this video for me, done. Gotta get there. Then the other thing you're talking about, seeking social support. That's what y'all doing right now. That's what we're doing right now. Iron sharpens iron. Being in these rooms like this, I'm not looking at numbers. I'm not looking at numbers. numbers. I don't care. I think about Jeremiah. Jeremiah preached 25 years. He didn't turn nobody. Okay? It's not numbers. It's what God is doing. We got to get a kingdom view on things. I can't look at y'all and say, oh, we have a few people in here. I don't know which one of y'all will take this information and find it valuable in your life. So my thing is to be a conduit for the things that God has given me. I told Joseph, I know why I'm here now. I know what my purpose is in these last few years of my life. And that is, I have an autistic son. If I had a son who was quasi-normal, I would have poured everything into him. But God has given me such an eclectic life that he wanted me to share my experiences with all my children. All of you. And that's what I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing, is pouring into you. Because I can't take it with me, so why don't I share it? I believe I gave them this proverb not long ago. It says, blessed is a man who plants a tree, whose shade he will never enjoy. I'm planting seeds. I'm the black Johnny Appleseed. I'm planting everybody. All right, so seeking social support. That's what we do for one another. We just lifting each other up. All right? And then do a case study of resilient individuals who have overcome significant obstacles. Who can we think of? Me coming back from that addiction. I mean, I look at myself and I'm a walking miracle every day. When I look in the mirror, I just say, thank you, God. I do my little ministry program in the morning called Wake Up with the Word. Every morning I just say, hey, thank you, God. Look where I've come from. You know, I remember being stuck in some places y'all couldn't even imagine. Couldn't even imagine. But look at this. And I'm not ashamed of my past either. You know, you can't hold me hostage to that. Guess why? Because God has freed me from that. My scripture tells me who the Son sets free is free indeed. I'm walking in freedom. A freedom that no man has given me. A freedom that no man can take from me. So, setting goals. Y'all, this is paramount. This is so important. In the Marine Corps, they taught us ready, aim, shoot. Well, a lot of folk walk through life shoot, aim, ready. You know, you can't hit what you ain't aiming at. It's just not possible. If I want to hit that wall, I can't be throwing at this wall. I'll never hit that wall. I'll never make it. So you got to be strategic, established, clear. And here's a buzzword, achievable goals to overcome obstacles. See, what we have a tendency to do is we want to take it all at one time. We just want to, like I say, my mother told me, she said, you know, you can only eat that meal a bite at a time. That's it. We can't eat everything at once. We got to do it one at a time. You got to have achievable goals. Because if you make your goals so massive, guess what, Caroline? You're going to fail. You're setting yourself up for failure if you do that. So make it a measurable and achievable goals. Also, I like this acronym, SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART. Use that as you set yourself up, as you establish your goals. That way, it's specific. You want something very specific. Like I'm right now, I want to run a 10K. That's specific. I want to run a 10K. So, measurable and achievable. That's the word again, achievable. Measurable, I want to be able to do so often. I got this program, I can measure how I do every week as I run. I can measure it. And it's achievable, it shows me what I can achieve in specific time frames, in small increments. So, relevant, it's relevant to me because I want to do it. And time bound, because I know the time frame that I need to do this in, because the race I want to run in is in July. So, that's why I use SMART. Now, break down big goals into small, manageable steps. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was an instructor. And we learned something called the Instructional Learning System, ILS. And what it did was, we had things that we call terminal objectives, like I was just telling you, I want to run 10K. Well, the terminal objective is what your ultimate goal is. Then we had to develop enabling objectives. These enabling objectives are steps that you must take in order to achieve that ultimate goal. And you make them, again, measurable, achievable, so that you don't set yourself up for failure. That's what you have to do. Example, if your obstacle is financial debt, set a goal to pay it off a certain amount each month. You don't say, I got a $25,000 debt, I'm going to pay it all off tomorrow. You say, I'll do it in installments. Make it where you can actually work a plan and get this thing paid off. And this is the main word here, another important word. They're all important. But this one, I think, is so important. Perseverance. And I was telling Joseph earlier about the shiny object syndrome we talk about. You know, people say, oh, that looks good over there. Let me go, this. Oh, that one even looks even better. Why? Because we won't persevere. Why don't we persevere? Because we don't want to do the hard stuff. We don't want to commit to anything. Perseverance is the key to overcoming obstacles. You can't run away from your problems. All I do is make them bigger. We have to address them. We have to persevere. We have to walk through. Guess what? My word tells me, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear nothing. Nothing. Don't give up at the first sign of difficulty. That's what we do. No, George, you know a whole lot of our partners that they had these grandiose ideas. Ran into a little bump in the road. He said, oh man, I can't do this. No. But look, I started a television program in 1992. They told me I couldn't do it. I'm like, yes I can. Because I'm talking to Wayne. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Wayne. And Wayne is in here going, you can do it. Yes, you can. Oh yeah, you got this. Shoot, man, come on, Wayne, we got this here. Started my own computer consulting company. Oh man, you can't do that, you can't do this now. Yes you can, Wayne, keep on doing it, Wayne, yes you can. Came back from crack addict. Yes you can, Wayne, you can come back, you can make it come back, you come all the way back. Perseverance. Don't give up. In my recovery, guess what? I fell down a few times. Relapse. But I didn't quit. I didn't give up on me. That's the key. I'm gonna tell you something. When you are confident in yourself, when you persevere through some stuff, it makes you strong. Paul said, I press on to the mark of the high calling. Guess what? Pressing takes effort. Pressing builds character. Pressing builds muscles. Pressing, you have to exert some stuff in order to get through. This life ain't easy. Nothing was promised to any of us. Oh, shut up. That's my diabetes alarm. I'm too far away from it. I know what that is. But don't give up the first sign of difficulty, because guess what? We all gonna have difficulty. Keep pushing forward. Even when the progress seems slow or setbacks occur. Keep going. Yeah, you can push that for me? Thank you, George. Now, examples of famous figures who faced numerous failures before achieving success. I had a bunch of them written down, but I'm going to give y'all one when I read all these excerpts. There's one that gets me. His name is Thomas Alva Edison. Y'all know who he is? Inventor of the light bulb. A reporter came up to him one day. He said this. He said, Mr. Edison, you've been at this 999 times, and it's a failure. Why? And he just go, why don't you just give up? Edison looked at him and said, guess what? I know 999 ways it doesn't work. So I'm going to move on to 1,000, and let's see if that'll work. I remember this, Joseph, I know you remember Zig Ziglar.
Oh, yeah.
So Zig Ziglar stuff, he said, every no, I know you know this too, George, yeah. Every no gets you closer to that yes. Every no. See, we hear no and we're like, oh, I'm defeated. I hear no, I'm like, I'm getting there. Yeah, that yes is right around the corner. I'm serious. I mean, my business that I'm doing now with Spirit Broadcasting, you know, I go out and talk to businesses, give presentations, da 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 da, and like, man, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I say, thank you. I mean that. Thank you very much, because you got me closer to that yes. And dude look at me like, he's crazy. But you gotta have that mental attitude, that mental toughness to understand that, guess what? It ain't gonna be easy, because if it was, everybody would be doing it. Now, adaptability. I think about that movie, Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood. He talked about, he said, Marines, we adapt, we overcome. I love that, man. I love that, because we have to adapt. You know, when I went to NCO school, you got to be flexible and willing to adapt to changing circumstances. When you develop a battle plan, guess what? You got to have a fallback position. You have to have an alternative to your major plan. Because if you don't, then you're stuck. And your plan, your one plan doesn't work. You're like, what you gonna do now? Oh no. Gotta have an alternative plan, a second move, a move to another position. Now sometimes the path to overcoming obstacles may require adjusting your approach or trying new strategies. See, that's where you gotta learn to work on the fly. You know, you see some of these guys on the football field, I think about them, or maybe the guys on the basketball court. They be running the play, and they get the play breaks off, the guy gotta adapt on the spot. He's gotta do something different. Boom, pop it off. I'll just pop it here. Or the running back, you know, you see, I remember seeing one time Tony Dorsett, y'all don't even know who he is. He was running all one way, and they got him blocked off, man. He just stopped and turned on a dime. Remember that play, George? He went all the way back around, touchdown. You gotta adapt. You got to be thinking on the fly in order to succeed in this business world specifically. Let me tell you something else too. Case study. I was the technician at this church. I was the last church I was at. I was the minister of technology. I had everything set up, man. They got them the sound booth. We built the monitors. And I brought them into the 21st century. Well, there was a whole lot of folk in there that didn't want that. They were stuck back in the past. That ain't how we do it. No, this ain't ministry. This is not ministry at all. What do you think? All this technology and stuff. After you just take the Bible out and go talk to people. That's what you're supposed to do. I said, yeah, maybe in 1960, but not today. I got them online, and guess what? COVID hit. Churches was closing down because they were not prepared for that. But guess what? They were prepared because I had put them on the internet. Didn't miss a beat. Church kept rolling, kept going. I told them, I'm your Joseph. The famine hit, and you didn't miss a meeting. And I'm saying to say this, you gotta be able to adjust. You gotta be flexible. You gotta be forward thinking. Because if you're not, you know, but when I walk into a church or a business or whatever, they say, well, that ain't the way we used to do it. And I just say, you know what? You're going to die. The business is going to die. The church is going to die. Because you don't want to adapt. The word hasn't changed, but the way we deliver it has changed. Businesses, you know, have to change in order to deliver their services and goods in a different way, because that's how people expect it. You know, DoorDash. Come on. Who thought about that 20 years ago? You gotta adapt. Seeking support. And I ain't gonna hold y'all this long. Don't be afraid to ask for help when obstacles. Guess what? The closed mouth don't get fed. You got to be able to talk to somebody about what's going on. Because I bet that in this room, somebody going through something, somebody else already gone through, they can give you some information how to get through. I know. Seek guidance from mentors, friends, family, or professional support networks. Professional support network. Huh. Where can we find that? This young man is already putting that together for us. Here it is right here. We just need to take advantage of it. You know, it's a useful utility for all of us who are in business. If you're not in business, you're looking for support. You know, positive people to be around to influence your life. Then Support can provide encouragement, advice, and resources to help you navigate challenges more effectively. Guess what? You don't know everything. I don't know everything. Getting together with like-minded people, you're going to find some resources, you're going to find some information that will help you get through what you are maybe going through. Or it might not even be useful right now, but guess what? Put it in your book. Put it in your back pocket, as they say, because it will become valuable someday. And you'll be thankful for that. Self-reflection. In the recovery world, we have this thing called the 4th step. And I think it was Socrates who said the unexamined life is not worth living. That is because we need to take time to reflect on our experiences and learn from them. Now, just take a little time, and just chill. Jesus even did that. He withdrew. Remember that a lot of times. He withdrew to reflect, to chill, to get himself together. We all need that time of introspection, where we take a look at where we are, what we're doing, and where we're going. Otherwise, you're just running wild. Just out there. Which way you going? That way. No, we gotta focus, and that we do that by taking a little time for ourselves. Analyze what worked and what didn't. I do that all the time, especially with Facebook ads. Anybody ever run Facebook ads? No? Okay. Facebook ad, you put it out there, and it might just go flop. So you gotta, maybe change the demographics on the ad. Maybe change the ad itself. I'll take 2 ads, and they'll be the same subject, but there'll be different approaches to that subject to promote that subject, and run both of them at the same time. One works, one doesn't. Guess which one I'm going with? So we have to take a look at what works and what doesn't work. And here's the important thing, use setbacks as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Don't look at it as something negative in your life, because that's how we start that negative self-talk. Say, okay, this didn't work, so why didn't it work? How can I make this better? What are the things that I've done in this instance that were good, and those that weren't good? Gotta look at this stuff, man. So, I'm not gonna hold you hostage, but in conclusion, boom. Overcoming life's obstacles requires a combination of mindset, resilience, perseverance, adaptability, goal setting, and support. All these are key. Remember, every obstacle you overcome makes you stronger and more resilient for the future. If you can get through it, trust me, next time you see something, it'll be like, oh, I've done this before, I can do this, this is no problem. Each one of them makes you stronger. Now, closing quote. God will never give you a plan without providing you with provision. Yours truly. I told you that the other day, remember that? Yeah.